Boston Center, American 2706. Descending via Roebuck Tree, flight level 222.
Feeling 25,000 overcast. Temperature 23, 2.06. Altimeter 2984. VFR conditions. Landing runways 22 left, 27. Departing runways 22 right, 27. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Lima. Logan Airport.
United 2400 Heavy, IF to San Francisco Airport.
United 2400 Heavy, Boston clearance, clear to San Francisco. Highland 7 departure, then as filed. Climb via SID, departure frequency 133.0, squawk 3005.
Clear to San Francisco. Highland 7 departure, then as filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.0. Squawk tree 005. United 2400 Heavy.
United 2400 Heavy, read back correct. Contact ground 121.9er when ready for push or start.
We'll contact ground 121.9er when ready for pushback or engine start. United 2400 Heavy, take care, thanks.
Air Portugal to AITA, ready for IFR clearance to Lisbon.
Air Portugal 218, Boston clearance, cleared to Lisbon Airport. Celtic 7 departure, then is filed. Climb via SID, departure frequency 133.0, squawk 0261.
Clear at Lisbon Airport. Celtic 7 departure, then is filed. Clean via SID. Departure frequency 133.0. Squawk 0261. Air Portugal 28.
JetBlue 1117, ready for IFR clearance to Kennedy.
Air Portugal 218, read back correct. Contact ground 121.9er when ready for push or start.
WLL contact ground 121.9 when ready for pushback or engine start. Air Portugal 28, take care, thanks.
JetBlue 1117, Boston clearance, cleared to Kennedy Airport. SOC 7 departure, then is filed. Climb via SID, departure frequency 133.0, squawk 1744.
Cleared to Kennedy Airport. SOC 7 departure, then as filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.0. Squawk 1744. JetBlue 1117.
JetBlue 1117, read back correct. Contact ground 121.75 when ready for push or start.
We'll contact ground 121.75 when ready for pushback or engine start. JetBlue 1117, thanks.
Clear 618 at gate Echo 4, request pushback.
Player 618, Boston ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast.
Pushback and engine start approved, face northeast, clear 618.
United 2400 Heavy, cross runway 15 right at November. Continue taxi via November.
Cross runway 15 right at November. Continue taxi via November, United 2400 Heavy.
Air Portugal 28, ready to taxi to the active. Air Portugal 218, runway 22 right taxi via Alpha, November. Hold short runway 15 right. Runway 22 right taxi via Alpha, November. Hold short runway 15 right, Air Portugal 28. Air Portugal 218, cross runway 15 right at November. Continue taxi via November. Cross runway 15 right at November. Continue taxi via November, Air Portugal 28.
JetBlue 1117, at gate Charlie 33, request pushback.
United 2400 Heavy, contact Boston Tower Tree 2225.
Over to Tower Tree 2225. United 2400 Heavy.
JetBlue 1117, Boston ground, pushback approved. Face southeast.
Release parking brakes, please.
Pushback approved. Face southeast. JetBlue 1117.
Clear 618, ready to
Release
taxi
parking brakes,
to
please.
active.
Commencing push. All engines
Player
clear.
618,
Start at will.
runway 22 right, taxi via Alpha 1 Bravo, November. Hold short runway 15 right.
Runway 22 right, taxi via Alpha 1, Bravo, November. Hold short runway 15 right, clear 618.
Care 14 at ramp 19er, request pushback and engine start.
Care 14, Boston ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast.
Pushback approved, face northeast, Care 14.
Air Portugal 218, contact Boston Tower 132.225. Over to Tower 132.225, Air Portugal 28.
Care 22 at ramp November 5, request pushback and engine start.
Care 22, Boston ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast.
Pushback approved, face northeast, Care 22.
Player 618, cross runway 15 right at November. Continue taxi via November.
Cross runway 15 right and November. Continue taxi via November, clear 618. JetBlue 647, at gate Charlie 28, request pushback and engine start.
Please set parking
JetBlue
brakes.
647, Boston ground, pushback approved. Face east.
Pushback approved, face east, JetBlue 647.
All aircraft be advised information mic now current, altimeter 2982.
Care 14, taxi for departure.
Care 14, runway 22 right, taxi via Bravo,
Unlocking
November.
gear.
Hold short runway 15 right.
Runway 22 right, taxi via Bravo, November. Hold short runway 15 right, Care 14.
Care 22,
Tow truck
request taxi
disconnected.
to the active.
Bypass pin removed.
Care
Left is
22,
clear.
runway
Right is
22
clear.
right, taxi via Alpha, November. Hold short runway 15 right.
Runway 22 right taxi via Alpha, November. Hold short runway 15 right, Care 22. Delta 638, at gate Alpha 17, request pushback and engine start.
Player 618, contact Boston Tower 132.225. Have a good afternoon.
Contact Tower 132.225, clear 618.
Delta 638, Boston ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face south.
Pushback approved, face south, Delta 638. JetBlue 647, taxi for departure.
JetBlue 647, runway 22 right, taxi via Alpha, November. Hold short runway 15 right.
Runway 22 right taxi via Alpha, November. Hold short runway 15 right. JetBlue 647.
JetBlue 1117, request taxi.
Care 14, cross runway 15 right at November. Continue taxi via November.
Cross runway 15 right at November. Continue taxi via November, Care 14.
JetBlue 1117, runway 22 right taxi via Alpha, November. Hold short runway 15 right.
Alright, we'll taxi to runway 22 right via Alpha, November. Hold short runway 15 right, JetBlue 1117.
Brickyard 5814 at gate Alpha 19er, request pushback.
Brickyard 5814, Boston ground, pushback approved. Face south.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face south. Brickyard 5814. Delta 638, request taxi.
Care 22, cross runway 15 right at November. Continue taxi via November.
Cross runway 15 right at November. Continue taxi via November, Care 22.
Delta 638, runway 22 right taxi via Kilo, Alpha, November. Hold short runway 15 right.
All right, we'll taxi to runway 22 right via Kilo, Alpha, November. Hold short runway 15 right, Delta 638.
Care 14, contact Boston Tower Tree 2225.
Contact Tower Tree 2225, Care 14.
Delta 462 Heavy, gate Alpha 20, request pushback and engine start.
Delta 462 Heavy, Boston ground, hold position for traffic.
Hold position, Delta 462 Heavy.
JetBlue 647, cross runway 15 right at November. Continue taxi via November.
Cross runway 15 right at November. Continue taxi via November, JetBlue 647. Brickyard 5814, taxi for departure.
JetBlue 1117, holding short 15 right.
Care 22, contact Boston Tower 132.225.
Contact Tower 132.225, Care 22.
JetBlue 1117, cross runway 15 right at November. Continue taxi via November.
Cross runway 15 right at November. Continue taxi via November, JetBlue 1117.
Brickyard 5814, runway 22 right taxi via Kilo, Alpha, November. Hold short runway 15 right.
Runway 22 right taxi via Kilo, Alpha, November. Hold short runway 15 right, Brickyard 5814.
Delta 9er 53, gate Alpha 18, request pushback.
Delta 9er 53, Boston ground, hold position for traffic.
Hold position for traffic, Delta 9er 53.
JetBlue 647, contact Boston Tower 132.225, have a good one.
Contact Tower 132.225, JetBlue 647, have a good one.
Delta 462 Heavy, Boston ground, pushback approved. Face southeast.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face southeast, Delta 462 Heavy.
JetBlue 1117, contact Boston Tower 132.225.
Over to Tower 132.225, JetBlue 1117, see you. JetBlue 1117, ready to go, runway 22 right.
JetBlue 1117, number 1 for departure. Hold short of 22 right.
Affirmative, hold short of 22 right for traffic, JetBlue 1117.
JetBlue 647, Boston Tower, wind 225 at 22, gust 31, our NAV to boat, runway 22 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 22 right, our NAV to boat, cleared for takeoff, JetBlue 647.
JetBlue 1117, runway 22 right, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 22 right, JetBlue 1117.
Care 22, contact Boston departure, take care.
Contact Boston departure, Care 22.
JetBlue 647, contact Boston departure.
Contact Boston departure, JetBlue 647, have a good one.
JetBlue 1117, Boston Tower, wind 225 at 22, gust 31, our NAV to Bro, runway 22 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 22 right, our nav to Broro, cleared for takeoff, JetBlue 1117.
JetBlue 1117, contact Boston departure.
Contact Boston departure, JetBlue 1117. Boston departure, JetBlue 1117, 1,100 feet.
JetBlue 1117, Boston departure, radar contact. Climb maintain 1,000 feet.
Climb maintain 1,000 feet, JetBlue 1117.
JetBlue 451, contact Boston Center 124.85. Have a good one. Contact Boston Center 124.85, JetBlue 451. See you.
Boston departure, Delta 638, 500 feet.
Delta 638, Boston departure, radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 180.
Climb and maintain flight level 180, Delta 638.
JetBlue 1117, contact Boston Center 133.325. Have a good afternoon.
Center on 133.325, JetBlue 1117. Boston Center, JetBlue 1117, through 10,500 feet, for 1,000 feet direct Broro.
JetBlue 1117, Boston Center, climb maintain flight level 220.
Climb maintain flight level 220, JetBlue 1117.
JetBlue 1117, contact Boston Center 128.75.
Contact Boston Center 128.75, JetBlue 1117. Have a good afternoon. Boston Center, JetBlue 1117, through 17,600 for flight level 220 direct JSTA.
JetBlue 1117, Boston Center. Boston Center, Air Portugal to Aita, out of land to 12,900 for 15,000 direct fuel. Air Portugal 218, Boston Center, good afternoon. Climb and maintain flight level 310. Climb and maintain flight level 310, Air Portugal to Aita. Austrian 90 Heavy. Contact Boston Center 128.2.
Center on 128.2, Austrian 90 Heavy. Take care.
JetBlue 1117. Contact Boston Center 124.85.
Center on 124.85. JetBlue 1117. Boston Center. JetBlue 1117. Flight level 220.
JetBlue 1117, Boston Center. United 52 Heavy. Contact Boston Center 128.75.
Contact Boston Center 128.75. United 52 Heavy.
Lindbergh 4432. Cleared direct REN. Resume own navigation.
Roger, heading direct REN, then resume own navigation, Lindbergh 4432. Thanks.
Boston Center, Exejet 676, flight level 298.
Exejet 676, Boston Center. JetBlue 1117, Boston Center. Expect Parch 4, runway 22 left.
Expect Parch 4, runway 22 left, JetBlue 1117.
November 616 Victor Tango, Boston Center. Expect wiper tree, runway 2 tree. Expect wiper tree, runway 2 tree, November 616 Victor Tango. November 616 Victor Tango. Contact New Bedford approach 122.905. Have a good one. Contact New Bedford approach, November 616 Victor Tango.
JetBlue 1117, approaching our top of descent, ready for lower.
JetBlue 1117, after Sandy Point. Cleared via Parch 4, pilot's discretion descend and maintain flight level 180, Kennedy landing runway 22 left, altimeter 299er2.
After Sandy Point, cleared via Parch 4. Pilot's discretion descend and maintain flight level 180, Kennedy landing runway 22 left, altimeter 299er2, JetBlue 1117.
JetBlue 269, contact Boston Center 124.525.
Center on 124.525, JetBlue 269. Boston Center, November 216 Delta Kilo, descending via wiper tree, 1717,000.
November 216 Delta Kilo, Boston Center. Southwest 174, turn right, heading tree 45, climb maintain flight level tree 40.
Turn right. Heading tree 45, climb maintain flight level tree 40, Southwest 174.
Southwest 174, cleared direct jumper. Resume own navigation.
Cleared direct jumper. Resume own navigation, Southwest 174.
JetBlue 451, contact Boston Center 124.525.
Center on 124.525, JetBlue 451, see you.
Southwest 3484, contact Boston Center 124.525.
Contact Boston Center 124.525, Southwest 3484. Have a good afternoon.
American 1978, contact Boston approach 120.6. Have a good flight.
Contact Boston approach, American 1978.
Frontrunner 4, contact Boston Center 24525. Take care.
Contact Boston Center 24525, Frontrunner 4. Take care.
Boston Center, Care 6, through 14,000 feet for 14,500 direct SOX.
Care 6, Boston Center. JetBlue 474, contact Boston Center 128.75. Have a good one.
Center on 128.75, JetBlue 474.
Boston Center, United 884 Heavy, flight level 230. United 884 Heavy, Boston Center, radar contact. November 216 Delta Kilo, contact Boston Center 123.75.
Center on 123.75, November 216 Delta Kilo.
Boston Center, Riddle 62 Mike, 4,600.
Riddle 62 Mike, Boston Center, radar contact. Care 6, contact Boston Center 128.75.
Center on 128.75, Care 6.
Lindbergh 4432, contact Boston Center 124.525.
Contact Boston Center 124.525, Lindbergh 4432. Take care.
Exejet 676, contact Boston Center 127.65.
Contact Boston Center 127.65, Exejet 676.
FedEx 554 Heavy, contact Boston Center 128.75. Center on 128.75, FedEx 554 Heavy. Airtron 008 Heavy, contact Boston Center 124.525. Have a good one. Center 124.525, Airtron 008 Heavy. United 688, contact Boston approach 120.6.
Contact Boston approach, United 688.
Boston Center, JetBlue 1968. Good afternoon. Descending via Parch 4. Flight level 300.
JetBlue 1968, Boston Center, radar contact. JetBlue 1117, contact Boston Center 24525.
Contact Boston Center 24525, JetBlue 1117. Boston Center, JetBlue 1117, descending via Parch 4, 12,600 feet.
JetBlue 1117, Boston Center, copy. JetBlue 1076, after wiper, cleared via wiper tree. Pilot's discretion descend and maintain flight level 200. Theodore Francis Green State landing runway 23, altimeter 2992.
After wiper, cleared via wiper tree. Pilot's discretion descend and maintain flight level 200. Theodore Francis Green State landing runway 23, altimeter 2992, JetBlue 1076.
Southwest 3484, contact Boston Center 132.3.
Center on 132.3, Southwest 3484. Have a good afternoon.
Lindbergh 4432, contact Boston Center 128.1.
Contact Boston Center 128.1, Lindbergh 4432.
JetBlue 1117, contact Kennedy approach 128.125.
Contact Kennedy approach, JetBlue 1117. Have a good one. Kennedy approach, JetBlue 1117, 9,200 feet. We have Bravo on board.
JetBlue 1117, Kennedy approach, altimeter 2992, expect the visual approach runway 22 left.
Altimeter 2992, expect the visual approach runway 22 left. JetBlue 1117.
JetBlue 1826, airport is at your 12 o'clock 9 miles. Report the field in sight.
We have the field, JetBlue 1826.
JetBlue 1826, cleared visual approach runway 22 left.
Cleared visual approach 22 left, JetBlue 1826.
JetBlue 1826, contact Kennedy Tower 119.7.
Over to Tower 119.7, JetBlue 1826.
JetBlue 104, turn right, heading 300, intercept the 22 left localizer, descend and maintain 3,900 feet, altimeter 29902, vectors for the approach.
Turn right, heading 300, intercept the 22 left localizer, descend maintain 3,900 feet, altimeter 29902, JetBlue 104.
Kennedy approach, Shamrock 107, 17,200 feet, we have Bravo.
Iberia 6253 Heavy, airport is at your 12 o'clock, 11 miles. Report the field in sight.
Field in sight, Iberia 6253 Heavy.
Iberia 6253 Heavy, cleared visual approach runway 22 left.
Cleared visual approach to left, Iberia 6253 Heavy.
Air France 008 Heavy, leave Crail heading 295, expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 22 left.
Leave Crail heading 295, expect radar vector for visual approach runway 22 left, Air France 008 Heavy.
Iberia 6253 Heavy, contact Kennedy Tower 119.7.
Oberto Tower 119.7, Iberia 6253 Heavy.
Air France 008 Heavy, turn right, heading 295, intercept the 22 left localizer, descend and maintain 3,300 feet, altimeter 29902, vectors for the approach.
Turn right, heading 295, intercept the 22 left localisé, descend and maintain 3,300 feet, altimeter 29902, Air France 008 Heavy.
Shamrock 107, Kennedy approach, altimeter 29902, expect the visual approach runway 22 left.
Altimeter 29902, expect the visual approach runway 22 left. Shamrock 107.
Kennedy approach, Brickyard 4365, flight level 305, we have Bravo on board.
Brickyard 4365, Kennedy approach, altimeter 29902, expect the visual approach runway 22 left.
Altimeter 29902, expect the visual approach runway 22 left, Brickyard 4365. Kennedy approach, JetBlue 1112, good afternoon. Flight level 298, we have Bravo.
JetBlue 1112, Kennedy approach, altimeter 29902, expect the visual approach runway 22 left.
Altimeter 29902, expect the visual approach runway 22 left, JetBlue 1112.
Kennedy approach, JetBlue 268, flight level 306 with information Bravo.
JetBlue 268, Kennedy approach, altimeter 29902, expect the visual approach runway 22 left.
Altimeter 29902, expect the visual approach runway 22 left, JetBlue 268.
Kennedy approach, JetBlue 1968, 16,400 feet with the numbers.
JetBlue 104, airport is at your 12 o'clock liner miles. Report the field in sight.
We have the field, JetBlue 104.
JetBlue 104, cleared visual approach runway 22 left.
Cleared visual approach 22 left, JetBlue 104.
JetBlue 104, contact Kennedy Tower 119.7.
Over to Tower 119.7, JetBlue 104.
JetBlue 1117, leave Crail heading 300, expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 22 left.
Leave Crail heading 300, expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 22 left. JetBlue 1117.
JetBlue 1968, Kennedy approach, good afternoon, altimeter 299 expect the visual approach runway 22 left.
Altimeter 299 expect the visual approach runway 22 left. JetBlue 1968.
Air France 008 Heavy, airport is at your 12 o'clock, 11 miles. Report the field in sight.
Field in sight, Air France 008 Heavy.
Air France 008 Heavy, cleared visual approach runway 22 left.
Cleared visual approach 22 left, Air France 008 Heavy.
Air France 008 Heavy, contact Kennedy Tower 119.7.
Over to Tower 119.7, Air France 008 Heavy.
Shamrock 107, leave Crail heading 300, expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 22 left.
Leave Crail heading 300, expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 22 left. Shamrock 107.
JetBlue 1117, turn left, heading 295, vectors for the approach.
Turn left, heading 295, JetBlue 1117.
Shamrock 107, turn right, heading 300, intercept the 22 left localizer, vectors for the approach.
Turn right, heading 300, intercept the 22 left localizer. Shamrock 107.
Shamrock 107, descend maintain 3,600 feet. Altimeter 299
Descent maintain 3,600 feet. Altimeter 2992, Shamrock 107.
JetBlue 1117, airport is at your 10 o'clock 15 miles. Report the field in sight.
We have the field, JetBlue 1117.
JetBlue 1117, cleared visual approach runway 22 left.
Cleared visual approach 22 left, JetBlue 1117.
Kennedy approche, Air France 008 Heavy, tout usant éteindre le fit.
Air France 008 Heavy, welcome back. Continue.
Continue, Air France 008 Heavy.
JetBlue 1968, leave Crail heading 300, expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 22 left.
Leave Crail heading 300, expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 22 left. JetBlue 1968.
Air France 008 Heavy, turn left, heading 135.
Turn left, heading 135, Air France 008 Heavy.
JetBlue 1117, contact Kennedy Tower 119.7.
Over to Tower 119.7, JetBlue 1117. Have a good one. Kennedy Tower, JetBlue 1117, visual runway 22 left.
JetBlue 1117, Kennedy Tower, wind 205 at 22, gust 29er, runway 22 left clear to land.
Runway 22 left clear to land, JetBlue 1117.
$1,000.
Kennedy Tower, Shamrock 107, visual runway 22 left.
Shamrock 107, Kennedy Tower, continue.
Wilco, Shamrock 107.
One. 430.
retard, 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 retard.
JetBlue 1117, exit right at Zulu.
Exit right at Zulu, JetBlue 1117.
Kennedy Tower, JetBlue 1968. Visual runway 22 left.
Shamrock 107, wind 205 at 22, gusts 29er, runway 22 left cleared to land.
Runway 22 left clear to land. Shamrock 107.
JetBlue 1117, contact ground 121.9er. Have a good one.
Ground 121.9er, JetBlue 1117.
JetBlue 2661, request taxi to the active.
JetBlue 2661, runway 22 right taxi via Delta Alpha, Alpha, Foxtrot.
JetBlue 1117, request taxi to assigned gate.
Runway 22 right taxi via Delta Alpha, Alpha, Foxtrot, JetBlue 2661.
JetBlue 1117, gate Delta 29er taxi via Hotel, Yankee, Zulu, Yankee Alpha, Bravo, Delta.
Gate Delta 29er via Hotel, Yankee, Zulu, Yankee Alpha, Bravo, Delta, JetBlue 1117.
JetBlue 2181 at gate Delta 21, request pushback and engine start.
JetBlue 2181, Kennedy ground, hold position for company traffic.
Hold position for traffic, JetBlue 2181.
JetBlue 2181, Kennedy ground, pushback approved. Face southeast.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face southeast, JetBlue 2181.
Shamrock 9er for Romeo Heavy, request taxi to the active.
Shamrock 9er for Romeo Heavy, runway 22 right taxi via Alpha 1 Victor, Alpha, Foxtrot.
Runway 22 right taxi via Alpha 1 Victor, Alpha, Foxtrot, Shamrock 9er for Romeo Heavy.
Shamrock 107, gate Foxtrot 2 taxi via Zulu, Yankee Alpha, Bravo, Victor, Alpha 1.
Gate Foxtrot 2 via Zulu, Yankee Alpha, Bravo, Victor, Alpha 1, Shamrock 107.
JetBlue 2661, contact Kennedy Tower 123.9er, take care.
Over to Tower 123.9er, JetBlue 2661. Have a good evening.
JetBlue 1968, Ram Hotel 12 taxi via Zulu, Golf. Hold short runway 22 right.
Hotel 12 via Zulu Golf.
Shamrock 9er for Romeo Heavy. Hold position for traffic. I'll call you back. Hold position for traffic. Shamrock 9er for Romeo Heavy. Shamrock 9er for Romeo Heavy. Continue taxi. Continue taxi. Shamrock 9er for Romeo Heavy. American 66 Heavy. Contact Kennedy Tower 123.9er.
Over to Tower 123.9er. American 66 Heavy.
Virgin for 6 Kilo Heavy, Gate Alpha 5, request pushback and engine start.
Virgin 46 Kilo Heavy, Kennedy ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face southeast.
Pushback approved. Face southeast. Virgin for 6 Kilo Heavy.
JetBlue 2181, contact Kennedy Tower 123.9er. Have a good one.
Contact Tower 123.9er. JetBlue 2181.
Shamrock 9er for Romeo Heavy. Contact Kennedy Tower 123.9er. Have a good one. Over to Tower 123.9er. Shamrock 9er for Romeo Heavy. See you. Air France 008 Heavy. Gate Echo 1 taxi via Zulu, Bravo. Hold short runway 22 right.
Gate Echo 1 via Zulu, Bravo. Hold short runway 22 right, Air France 008 Heavy.
American 1355, Gate Bravo 32 Golf, request pushback.
JetBlue 1968, cross runway 22 right at Golf. Continue taxi via Golf.